You're dividing your primary yellow up into 3 equal spots, and that's how we're going to treat every color, okay? So this will be just kind of introductory today, and then tomorrow we'll really get into it, and then the rest of it will be independent practice, okay? So I've divided up all my yellows. I wiped off my palette knife here, and then I'm going to take just a very small portion of each of my reds. And you want to start out with a little bit. So a little bit is better to start with than a lot. And I'm going to place that down on my corresponding yellow piles now. You might have to take tissues or toilet paper for a backup right now.
Okay.
All right, so now I'm taking little portions of my reds and I'm sticking those in my yellow, and then I'm gonna mix them together. And what color should I be getting, ladies? What am I getting? Thank you. Different oranges. Okay, so you could even be using your palette knife to help you mix this, and you want a nice solid orange. Okay, not a yellow orange, not a red orange. You want a solid orange. Okay, so if it's yellow, if it looks yellow orange like macaroni, like Kraft macaroni and cheese, you need to add just a tiny bit more red. Okay, so there I've got my first orange. Then I'm gonna mix up my second orange with my alizarin crimson. And I need to pick up just a little bit more. Okay. And then I'm going to mix up my orange with the permanent red. Remember, start off with less red first. You can always add more. Okay, and that's kind of my problem that I just ran into with my primary red. I picked up too much red. Now I've kind of got a red-orange. So I've got to scrape up the remnants that I have here and try and mix it off on the side so that I can get a more accurate orange. Okay, so there we go. I've got my oranges mixed now. I'm going to get my color mixing page. I'm going to dip my brush in my water to just kind of thin out my paint a little bit. And then I'm going to put it in its corresponding box. So what I picked up, the color I picked up was my quinacridone magenta and my primary yellow. So I'm going to paint that in the box on my sheet. Then I'm going to wash out my brush. I'm going to pick up the orange that I made with my alizarin crimson and yellow. I'm going to get that painted in my box. Then I'm going to paint my brush again. And then I'm going to pick up the orange that I've got from my permanent red and primary yellow. And I'm going to get that painted in my box. Okay. There we go. So I've got all my oranges down. Uh-oh. And we need to clean up. We have a minute. I'm going to have to put out an email. Okay, ladies, look at also what I'm doing. The colors that I just mixed up, to keep this palette cleaner, I'm going to go ahead. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and wipe up these colors. So I want you to do that. And I'm going to send an all-staff email out to excuse you all. Now, the reason why we put our colors this way, like in our folding line, all you have to do is fold your palette paper. So you just go from bottom, just fold it in on itself, very carefully and just kind of pat it down around where your paint piles are. And then they should be usable tomorrow. Okay, if you just leave it open on your shelf, you're not going to be able to use them. So just kind of pat it down, seal it down so you can use the paint. Okay, and then I need a group effort to put all the paint bottles back too. So sorry I kept you late, ladies.